welcome back to Celestial Mind, my spirituality channel. How are you guys doing today? I cannot wait until we're able to go live because I miss going live and I feel like the interaction is so much better. But for now, we've got these pre-recorded videos. So if you guys want me to go live again, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button so that the channel will have enough subscribers so that we can go live again like I used to do on my Niger Sim channel. Okay? All right, you guys. So today's video, it is predictive programming part 2. Okay? Now you guys know how I do. I never want to be fear-mongering. I never want to, plant seeds of fear into people. That is not what this is about. That's not what my videos are ever about, okay? So I don't want you to feel that way when we talk about these topics. These topics are just to dive deep. It's just to pique our curiosities. It's just to talk about things that are going on in our real life reality, all right? And there's nothing, okay, hello hair. And there's nothing to, there's nothing to worry about. Honestly, I find these topics extremely fun, but if you're ever feeling fearful of conversations, maybe you're scrubbing the YouTube community for all kinds of crazy information, give yourself time to just process information. It's gonna be okay. All right? So, like I said, predictive programming part 2. So on my old channel, Niger Sim, I posted a video about predictive programming, and in that video, I mentioned that in the future, there's going to be, I don't even know what we would call it. So the artificial intelligence or technologies are going to merge with humans, okay? They're going to merge. So in the video, I talked about how they had these internal body scanners, how eventually technology will be in us, or in certain people, not in all of us. Some people are not gonna go for this, okay? I don't think I'm going for it, but let's just continue. So I said in my video, in the future they're going to have, and not even in the future, this is happening now. This is happening in our country, in California. In the video, I told you guys that my mom had told me about this company in California where the employees get this implant underneath their skin so that they're able to swipe into certain buildings and to swipe in to use certain facilities. So instead of having like an ID card that you would swipe, or instead of like, I don't even know, like the next high-tech thing would be like an eyeball scan. Instead of that, it's internal chips, internal technology. Even if you've seen like Black Mirror, this concept has already been presented to a lot of people in the sense that we will have like internal phones. So instead of having our iPhone, an external artificial intelligence, we would have it in our bodies, okay? I don't even know how or what or why they would, I don't know, okay? But I'm bringing this up because, you guys, the other day I was watching Netflix, and I've been binge watching this show on Netflix, and it's called Better Than Us. And you guys, in the very first episode, what do I see? What I was talking about, the scanning of the technology, right? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, the only reason why I'm like, oh my God, because obviously we've already seen this in Black Mirror. We've already seen this in certain sci-fi, certain futuristic pictures, right? But the reason why I thought like, oh my God, because this particular Netflix series is in Russian, right? So you notice how they'll start to bring these things to other countries before they bring it to us, because to us, it still seems extremely far-fetched. It still seems extremely in the future, extremely high-tech, like we're just not there yet, right? No, you guys, we're there right now. We're living in the reality right now where that stuff is happening right now. And so when I saw this in this show Better Than Us, and the little boy, he was scanning into the building with his little sensor, I was like, I literally was just talking about that. So to me, it's just confirmation that that is the direction that consciousness is moving into, mixing the humanoid, the artificial with humans, okay? The organic with inorganic. I don't know if you guys watch the channel Lucid Living TV with Offset. I love her so much. I was watching her since she was her hair channel, and then she transformed into a spirituality channel. But I really like her channel because she talks about topics like this, the organic versus the inorganic, or the merging of artificial intelligence and humans merging together. So basically the show Better Than Us is all about artificial intelligence. It's all about bots bots. So basically they live in a world where these bots, these humanoids, they look like humans, they dress like humans, but they're not, they're robots. And for me, I think a lot of people are kind of scared of artificial intelligence, or they're scared of, robots taking over the world. I'm a bit different. I feel like, okay, so I know that we're not supposed to like artificial intelligence and that we're not supposed to, I don't know, but I am pro technology in the sense that I just think technology is so freaking cool, okay? And I just think like, oh my God, if we could have a humanoid bot that could do fun things for us, like go grocery shopping and help us with stuff and watch our kids for us while we're like, I feel like that would be really cool. Unfortunately, because they are mimicking the organic, which is us, because they are mimicking us, they are learning from us. And so as humans, of course, we have flaws, and because they are mirroring us, they would too get those flaws, or they would too, I feel like the only reason why a lot of people are like fearful of artificial intelligence is because they feel as if one day it would take over the world. That's what most television, most media alludes to. Yeah, artificial intelligence is great, humanoid bots are great, but eventually they will, do what? Take over the world or kill people, or all kinds of crazy things we think these humanoids are capable of doing, and they very well are capable of doing it. But it's not because they're not capable of doing it because robots are evil. They're capable of doing it because they are mimicking us, and because it is in human nature to have those types of emotions, or be evil or snap and commit certain atrocities. Robots will then learn from us, learn from the organic. Okay, so it's just like how people are like saying, oh my God, Siri is too smart, Google is too smart. We created these computers, we created these devices. They cannot do more than we can do because they are an appendage of us, if that makes sense, or they are a copy of us, if that makes sense. Just like computers, the very first computer that was ever created, right? And we're like, oh my God, these computers are so smart. They can calculate numbers, they can crunch numbers so quickly, it's amazing, They couldn't do that if we weren't able to do that, okay? So all this technology is just a mirror replica of what humans are already capable of doing. And so there's no reason for us to be fearful. I think that is another form of predictive programming for us to be fearful of these, of this type of technology. It starts with us first. So if we're fearful of robots hurting us or harming us, it is because we're fearful that we as humans have the capabilities to hurt and harm each other, which obviously, duh, we know that, okay? Before we even have robots walking around, AIs walking around, we already know that there are bad people and there are good people. There are people who are capable of doing harm, and there are people that are capable of doing good. So there's no difference between that and a robot, because robots are only mirroring us. They can only do what we can do. They can only have the capability to do what we know how to do, because we cannot program them to do something that we cannot do, because we just can't. If we can't perceive us to do something, then they cannot have that idea either, because we are putting our consciousness into these robots. And that's all it is a matter of. And that's another conversation of transferring consciousness, which I know this video is kind of jumbled up all over the place, but as you can see, I'm very passionate about this topic. I think it's super interesting. I'm kind of like nerdy and techie, not in the sense that I understand everything about it, but I just feel like, shows like Black Mirror kind of excited me when they first came out. Like, yes, I know there is a predictive agenda behind certain shows. Not saying that it's all necessarily bad, but I don't know, something about me just wants to be super optimistic about this new technological world, you know, there's no stopping it. We're not going to be able to stop it, okay? Like, there's nothing that we can do to stop it. As humans evolve, as our technology evolves, like, technology will continue to evolve because we are continuing to evolve. Our cars will evolve, the phones will evolve, the computers will evolve, the smartphones will evolve, okay? Eventually, they're going to be able to put this technology inside of people. They're already putting this technology inside of people. Let me ask you guys this. Females, birth control. Have you guys ever heard of Nexplanon? It's a birth control that they put on the innards of your arm, and it goes underneath the surface of your skin. That is a form of technology, and they're disguising it as birth control. But the thing that kind of makes me worried about that is, what if they just decide to activate whatever these devices are that we're putting internally in our skin? You know, what if they just decide to activate it and women just start going crazy, you know? Like, you have to think about it. What are we putting in our bodies? If you have the implants or even IUDs, that is a form of integrating technology with the organic, okay? It is. So yeah, it's just some ideas I've been juggling around or tossing around. This idea of predictive programming, certain agendas that are pushed in certain media. I think it's really interesting. I'd love to have this conversation with you guys. I'm excited to be able to go live again on my channel or on this channel so that we can talk about things like that. But yeah, when I saw this show on Netflix, Better Than Us, which you guys, I highly recommend that you watch it so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, this new age technology and everything like that. Because like I said, this stuff already exists. Just because we don't have the capability or just because we don't have it in our hands now doesn't mean it doesn't exist already. Doesn't mean they're not already testing it out in other countries. Like I said, China and Japan, they're already on this wave. There are people, like, I feel like they're probably going to make their citizens get some type of internal tracker or internal devices, like, and make it mandatory, like it's not even a choice. Because I told you in my last predictive programming video, you know, it even happened in the show Better Than Us. There was a guy who was walking down the street, or he was speeding or something, and the sensor caught that he was speeding, and instead of sending the bill to his house, instead of sending the fine to his house, it showed up on his arm. You've been fined X amount of dollars, you know? It's like, you don't even have to pay bills. They're going to be auto deducted out of whatever electronic banking system that's attached internally into people. So if you can imagine, if they're able to deduct money or deduct merit from people and it show up on their skin, what if they could cut off life force? You know, like, what if your point system gets too far down, or like maybe your account's in the negative and they cut off your life force? Okay? If they're integrating this technology inside of you, who's to say that they cannot control whether you live or die? Okay? That is something to think about when we're talking about integrating the organic with the inorganic, or merging together technology with humans, okay? I think it's extremely interesting. But at the same time, I'm extremely skeptical because, you know, we already feel some type of way about the government, about the water that we're drinking, about the food that we're eating. You know, there are secret agendas that are already happening, right? So how can we trust that these devices that they're going to be implanting in us, how do we know that they're doing exactly what they say they're going to do? Like, if you can imagine, like, what are we on now? iPhone 10 or iPhone X. So what if, like, the 100th generation of iPhones was an internal computer system, or internal, you know, like, instead of going out and purchasing a new iPhone, what if you're just purchasing a little chip and you go to the doctor, or you may not even have to go to the doctor, you can go to the Apple store and they'll insert it in you. Yay, you have the new version of the iPhone 100. It's in you. It never leaves. You will never leave your phone again. As long as you sleep every night, your device will always be charged because your device is you. You know, like, doesn't that sound so creepy? Isn't that weird? But predictive programming, the more we see these things in the shows that we watch, the more real it becomes, the more we're moving into this. So I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. Please give me your feedback because I'm super into it. Like I said, I love the idea of technology, but certain things make me wonder. is this safe? Is this gonna be okay? Is this a new way to control people? Because if you imagine, what if, you know how like in the Hunger Games or in Divergent, how they have districts, or even in, I just saw this show Layla on Netflix, how they have different districts, and if you don't have certain verifications, you cannot cross you cannot cross certain borders, or you cannot cross certain, you know what I mean? So what if we had these internal chips in us, now they'd be able to say, oh, you cannot enter this district, or they can track you while you're, like, what if it has GPS in it and they can track you through the districts, or say you don't have authorization to enter this district, or whatever the case may be. Like, predictive programming, these things are already happening in TV. So we can already assume that they probably are already working on creating this kind of technology. So what are we going to do about it? Is there anything we can do about it? Should we be concerned about it? Should we just let it happen? What are your thoughts, you guys? I'm very curious to know. All right, you guys, I'm not going to drag this one on, but this is just my episode number 2 about predictive programming. If it's interesting to you, please make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. And as always, I love you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!